It's time to put some risers and some bars on this DR650 project. All right, so what we're going to embark on today is a little cleaning up of the handlebar area. We're going to add some risers. We got some Warp 9 risers. We got some fly racing fat bars that we're going to be putting in here. And I'm hoping it will they're a little wider, so I'm hoping it'll kind of open up some of these areas. My clutch was getting a little close to my brake line and stuff with the fairing, the way it had to be routed and whatnot. So I'm still trying to work on that and get it perfect, but it's close. It's just, it needs a little bit more room, and I think this will get it for us. Anyway, I'm going to tear this stuff off, the stock stuff off. I don't think anybody really needs to see how to do that. It's just a couple of bolts, and then we'll get back to reassembly here shortly. One little tip that I did want to give, a lot of people don't know this, some of you probably will, is air is your friend when it comes to taking grips off. This thing is on here. It's really tight. Really cool little deal. You take your air hose, jam it under the end, and then blow it on, blow air in there, and it comes right off. Even when there's glue, this will get it. It works great. All right, so everything's taken off. We've got a couple of bolts down here to get these guys out, and then we'll replace them with our nice, pretty Warp 9 risers. Give us a little more than an inch of rise. Yep, 14 millimeter. All right, let's see if I can hold this thing. There we go. Oh, technical difficulties. We lost the microphone. It's hard to get this stuff where you guys can hear me. There we go. All right, so let's get this off. Now these, I don't know, I think these are rubber, so they might take some doing to get out, or they might just come right out. I don't really know. I'm not completely familiar with these here, so let's just look and see what we get. Yeah, they're a little tight. Yeah, I'm thinking a little bit of force and some twisting maybe. Yeah, it's coming. That out first, and then okay, then we should be able to push this through. I think this is just the rubber grommet that's in there. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so there, that's what you're dealing with there. So you've got Might as well save all this stuff. What that does is squeeze tight on this, and it gives you kind of a rubber shock. I'm not really too particularly worried about the vibration. It's a big old thumper. It's gonna vibrate, right? Let's see, which way do we want these guys to go? I think we want them to go like this. So this one. So then this one should drop in. With any luck. Got the right bolt, looks like. Alright, that's cool. And these all came from ProCycle. This is a ProCycle kit recommended for the DR650, so it should work just fine. Gotta have octopus hands here a little bit. I think I got the nut started. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so there's one. Let's get the other one off. And that'll suck up nice and tight once we tighten it down, so. Alright, let's see. I think this will work. Hopefully. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we'll just pull these down with this. Now, do we want them to be back? Or do we want them to be up? I'm thinking up. Okay, so we'll just get that kind of snug. And we gotta go over here to this side. So we go here. Okay, so what happened was I forgot the washer on the bottom there, the big factory washer that I wanted to put in there, and I just didn't want to bore you with it. So we got that in there and done. That piece is installed. These are still just loose because we got to put the bars in. Once we get the bars sitting in place, then we can snug those down and it'll make them straight. So a bit of a step-by-step here. Now if you look at these, they are offset, so you can pull the bars back to you if you're a shorter rider, or forward if you're a taller rider or you want more of an attack type position. I'm pushing mine forward. We'll see how it goes. You know, I don't know exactly how I'm going to want it yet. We can always spin them around later. But this is the plan here. Put these guys in here just about like so. You can do this however you like, but I try to pinch one side down just a little bit so I can kind of hold my center. Okay. Whoa, we got our warp 9 here. I think we can put them both either way. Can't tell for sure. I want it to say warp 9 depending on whichever side you're looking at. If I can. Might as well make it kind of cool. Alright. So there is our new bar. Is it going to let me move it? Yeah, it will. Okay. My first guess, that looks about right. So that's about how I usually like them. Let's just see what we get. We'll go from there. Let's get our... Where'd my 17 go? we go. Let's get these snugged down now. These are nylocks, but I want to have these pretty tight. Okay. Alright, this. Try not to damage my brake line again. Alright, let's get you up there.
Almost tight handlebars.
So we got the washers in there. We should be good. Feels sturdy. Okay. That's good for that. So now, let's see. Next thing here is. Looks like we're going to have to loosen that a bit. Interesting. I need a flathead screwdriver. Let's see here, what can we do? We've got to try and spread this just a little bit. I think it's just because this is knurled and the stock one's not. Yeah. It's kind of going. There we go. Alright, so all I did was stick my screwdriver in there and just give it a little twist. And that opened it up enough to get it over there. Alright, so now we go like this. I do like the Warp 9 stuff. It seems to be pretty nice quality from what I can tell. A lot of people seem to like it. That's what kind of got me to buy it. I've seen a lot of people use the Warp 9 stuff and they seem to appreciate their quality. So I decided to give them a try. There's a couple different versions of these. I did like how these were a nice solid looking piece instead of, some of them are kind of funny looking, so I didn't want to do that. Alright, let's see. Is that good enough to hold it? Okay, cool. Alright, so now we can do this guy. Let's see, this guy goes next. We've got to get our grip in there. Oh, we're a little too far out. A little too far out with this guy. Alright. Let's move you down there. Yeah, that's not going to fly. There is something very strange about this clutch cable. I cannot figure it out. It refuses. It just refuses to work. I don't understand it. I got it routed the way they want it, and it just doesn't work. I don't know why. No matter how hard I try. That's better. That's not great, but it's better. I don't know. Not quite sure about that. Let's go here. Let's go this. Okay, we'll take the nub off. Okay, so where I left off before, this is for the kill switch and starter switch. So there's a little nub here. I don't know if you can see that. And what that does is it keeps it from rotating on the bars. You want to drill a little detent, you find a drill bit that's the right size of this and drill a little detent and get it right where you want it. Now, I don't exactly know where I want that yet, so I'm going to hold off for just a little bit. And then, but when it's all said and done, I'm going to drill it and set it. It's pretty simple. You just basically figure out exactly where it's going to go, make a little mark, and just drill. I try not to drill all the way through the bar. Give it a dent just big enough for that little nipple to kind of sit in. All right. All right, so I got a lot of the stuff mocked up and basically done. What I ended up doing is just shaving down the little nubs on the insides of these to where they stood out just enough to where it gave it a nice bind. I mean, they're fine. I don't see any reason to drill them. So I've always drilled them in the past, but I've seen a couple of guys do what I just did, and it really seems to work fine. The other thing I see a lot of is people complaining about how difficult it is to clean the factory grip off of the stock throttle tube. Now, what I did is I took, let me grab it. I used one of these, basically just a razor knife. I'm sure everybody has box cutters and stuff like that. And what I did is I just went in and shaved off the majority of it, took the big chunks, right, got most of it off. Then I took it to my bench grinder, you know, the ones with the two wheels. One of them has a wire wheel on it. It made quick work of that. It absolutely just chewed through that stuff with a light touch, just on the wheel. It worked really good. I mean, it took me maybe a total of 5 or 6 minutes tops to finish the whole thing clean as a whistle. So that works pretty good. I think a lot of people would just, you could save yourself the $15 and clean it. It's pretty easy. Then you've got a factory tube. It's not metal. It's not going to gull against the aluminum. Plastic, in my opinion, is a better mate with an anodized or powder coated piece of aluminum. It's just going to last longer and not gull up and get tight on you. And if it gets dirt in there, it's going to have less tendency to grit and to seize up on you. So that's just my 2 cents on that deal. So I'm going to mess with the throttle tube or and get it on there and get it set up with the cables. It's a little bit finicky, so I'm going to do that real quick and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we're getting close to the end here. We got everything pretty much sized up, got it centered, got this tightened down. We got our throttle tube figured out. Works pretty good. Rerouted some cables a little bit, got them dialed in a little bit better than they were. Don't mind my leaky air hose. Now the air trick is great because it works both ways usually. Let me see if I can get this on here. I'll get it started first. Usually there's a hole in the end of these things, but you can do it this way too, most of the time. Maybe not. This one doesn't want to give. Come on. Oh, there, I almost had it. Come on. You know what? I'm gonna play the game because I have bar guards that I'm going to be using anyway. We're going to be putting some hand guards on here anyway, so we're going to just cheat a little bit here. Put a hole in the end so we can do this the easy way, hopefully. Get it in there. It's kind of easier when the bike's not on a stand. Oh, don't pop it. Alright. My air hose leaks a little bit, so that works pretty good. Alright. That one's on there pretty much all the way. Squeeze the air out of it. There we go. Alright. I do like me some pillow tops. They are nice. We might have to shift this all over a bit, but that clutch has to stay that way, so maybe not. Maybe we'll leave that like it is. Move that over. Yeah, let's do that. Let's move just this housing just a little bit so it looks a little better. Choke still works. Yes, sir. Okay. So there's one down. Let's see. The other side may be a little more challenging. We're going to find out, though. Oops. Helps to have the air connected. Things are going. Okay, we almost got it. All right, well, we got the bar pad on. Looks pretty good. Clutch works like it's supposed to. Brakes good. Throttle's nice and snappy. We got all the cables routed to where they seem to be pretty good now. I call that a win. I think we're pretty much done. We really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this. We've definitely got more coming on the channel. Sydney's definitely waiting in the wings here. Some of these jobs are a little too involved for her, so she doesn't want to stay in here for hours on end. But I promise we've got more stuff coming for this. We've still got the seat, the tail, tidy kit and all that. We're going to do a seat cover. We're going to do a custom TIG welded toolbox / tool tube in the back there. A lot of stuff coming. And then suspension after all that. So we appreciate you guys liking and subscribing, and we hope you enjoy the videos, and thanks for watching.